Allow me to take you back to the year 2007. Netflix had just launched their streaming service versus sending you those CDs in the mail. Yeah, that used to be a thing. The first iPhone launched, a little bit of success, and Tommy Bahama, you don't say that often, launched a gem called Set Sail St. Barts. And this is everything you need to know in 8 post points. What's going on YouTube? Tony here, back with another fragrance review. And this one I'm talking about one of a staple for summer, especially summer outdoor scents. Let's jump right into these post points. Post point number 1. This has a tropical vibe based off the Caribbean Isles. And just like the bottle, picture blue skies, white sand beaches, and a drink with an umbrella in it. That's what this fragrance, this is the inspiration behind this fragrance, and I think they've successfully accomplished that with the scent as well. Long live the island life. Post point number 2. Now, if you're like me, you thought rum punch, painkiller, pina colada, something like that. Not so with this. This fragrance features lime and a bit of sweetness by the note of guava, and even an agave note, which is used to make tequila. So you guess it, this is based on more of a margarita than one of those other drinks that I just mentioned. If I would describe it, I think they were successful at combining boozy and watery. Getting familiar with the note of tequila in college, they did not capture that smell, thank goodness. I don't know exactly what guava smells like. To me, this smells like simple syrup. What they use in a lot of drinks. I don't know if that was intentional, but that's what the sweetness in here comes across as, like a sweet simple syrup or sweet water. Overall, even though this feels boozy, to me it doesn't smell like a margarita. What it smells like, it still gives me the boozy vibe, but what it smells like to me is like a vodka spritzer or a vodka tonic, something like that, with that's oddly enough not very sweet, with a fresh lime. That freshness, that's what this reminds me of. Post point number 3. The performance on this is going to be a little tricky. So this is probably the least concentration you can find in a fragrance. I believe it's Eau de Cologne strength, not very strong at all, which is I think about 5% perfume oils. With that said, I have gotten very good longevity out of this one. I would even say great if you wear this in the right scenario. So I wore this to a water park, and I sprayed it on that morning thinking it probably wouldn't even last till I get to the park. And lo and behold, it was 3 o'clock that afternoon. I was actually still catching whiffs of this, even though I had been in and out of water, even albeit shallow water, but still outdoors the whole time. This thing stayed on my skin. So ultimately about 4 to 6 hours total. And for Eau de Cologne, I wouldn't expect that. So even though it's not a beast mode fragrance, for the concentration, I think you get a decent amount of longevity out of this. With that said, however, I would imagine if you did not wear this in an outdoor scenario, you tried to wear it to work or just indoors or something like that, I don't think you would get that same performance. But for me, this is a fragrance I don't mind. It's cheap enough. I'll just reapply. Yeah, I don't mind reapplying this scent. To my nose, this is fairly linear. I will say the personality of the fragrance is pretty short-lived. You'll spray that and that will fade into a generic sweet scent from there on out. The personality of the fragrance, even though short-lived, is still spot on, and I think what people gravitate to in this scent. Post point number 5, I'm going to double down on the need for body heat for this one. I didn't consistently get the full effects unless I was active. And that leads me to believe that you need that body heat. Not just stationary. I think moving around, being active, activates whatever the chemicals are in this. It needs that to really perform. So oceanside, poolside, backyard barbecues. Post point number 6, bang for your buck. This could be found at your local retailers like your Ross and Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and at online retailers for huge discounts. I'm talking about like, you know, 30-40 buck range, and at that price I would just buy 3 or 4 bottles. Post point number 7, inspiration behind the bottle. I know sometimes packaging can be a little cheesy. I actually like this. So the cap on this is supposed to be when you tie your boat to the dock, you tie the rope around I don't even know what it's called, but that's what the cap is on this. So sailboat, tying it to the dock, pretty cool inspiration in the bottle. Post point number 8. Some people compare this to Creed's Virgin Island Water. Man, I've had a sample of that fragrance. I don't own that fragrance, and upon smelling the sample that I had of Virgin Island Water, I didn't necessarily equate these two fragrances together. Not to say that it doesn't smell like that, it just didn't resonate with my nose. I will say in the base of this, there's a little tinge of vanilla that you kind of get once the aquatic vibe has kind of dissipated and you're left with this sweet, creamy like scent in the bottom, and maybe that's what people equate the two fragrances together, but take that for what it's worth. I would not, from what I remember of Virgin Island Water, I would not place this as a clone or a replacement for that fragrance. Well, that's all I have for you in this review. If you smell this one, let me know down in the comments what you think about it, and I will see you guys in the next vid. Peace.